Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Heidi from My Reading Life, here tonight to film my TBR for the Autumn Readathon. The Autumn Readathon is a week-long readathon. It's going to go from October 20th through the 26th, and it's hosted by Mercedes over at Mercy's Bookish Musings, and I will link her channel. I'll actually link her announcement video down below for the Autumn Readathon. This is a readathon that she hosted last year, and I really loved it, so I was delighted when she brought it back again this year with the same prompts that we used last year, so I think that's really fun. So I have here my books, and I have a very ambitious TBR, of which I will definitely not be reading all of them, but this Saturday the 20th, when the readathon starts, is also the Dewey's 24-hour readathon, and I've cleared my schedule for the most part, and I plan to spend most of the day on Saturday reading, so that should help me knock off some of this stuff, and I'm really excited to read some of these books, so that will help as well. Also, my daughter's soccer season is now over, so that's going to give me a little bit more time in the evenings to read and do other things when I don't have to work. So let's get to it. The first prompt is to read a gothic or spooky novel, and for that I have Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. This is a Jane Austen I've never read before, and it also would meet the prompt for a book published posthumously for the Read Harder Challenge. So this is kind of a twofer for me, and I've been wanting to read it. I don't really know much about it, and I don't really need to. It's Jane Austen. I've loved everything else by Jane Austen that I've read, so I anticipate that I will also love this one when I finally read it. However, I'm very tempted to start this book, which I just got for my birthday recently, and it's the new Stephen King book, The Outsider. This, however, is a chunky book, as his books almost always are, but it would definitely fulfill the gothic, spooky nature of this prompt. So I don't know. I'm just going to decide when it comes time to start one of these books which one I'm most in the mood for. So those are two very different books for the one prompt. The next prompt is a nonfiction book that feels autumnal, and Mercedes had recommended something that takes place in a cold climate, or is travel writing of some kind, or something that feels autumnal to you. Well, I have started reading Isaac Storm by Erik Larson, which is about a hurricane that hit Texas in 1900, and I am about 100 pages into this book right now. I'm buddy reading it with Patrice and Doris, and this I feel is very autumnal because hurricane season is in the autumn on the east coast of the United States, and this hurricane hit Galveston, Texas on September 8th or 9th in 1900, so this is something autumnal to me. So I'm going to be continuing on with that this weekend. So the third prompt is a novel that takes place in a cold location, and I am cheating on this prompt because I have been feeling like picking up some sci-fi. So I have picked up this book, Cyroburn by Lois McMaster Bujold. This is a book in the Miles Vorkosigan series. These are space opera, and this one takes place, and it has to do with people who get frozen, get put into cryo status. So it's about a cold topic. It's about, being frozen and held in a frozen state. And there's some mystery to be solved, as there always is with Miles. And space is cold. So I know it's kind of shoehorning it in there, but I wanted to read some sci-fi, and this was the closest I could get. So then the fourth prompt is historical fiction, and for that I have a Sarah Waters. I read a Sarah Waters for this prompt last year. I read The Little Stranger, and I absolutely loved it. It was my first Sarah Waters, and so I have been looking forward to having an opportunity to read some more by her. And this is Fingersmith, which is about a lady that is, I believe, is either a thief or is into like a con artist type thing, and I believe it's like a It's kind of a thriller and maybe has some lesbian themes to it as well. So I've heard a lot about it. It's very well regarded, I know. I've been wanting to read it for a long time, so I'm definitely excited to try this one out. Now there are 2 more prompts that are bonus prompts if you get to them, and for those I'm doubling up here a little bit for the short story collection because I had already planned to read some short stories out of this collection, Great American Short Stories, edited by Paul Negri, for Victober. So I haven't yet read any of these short stories, but there are at least half of the stories in this collection are during the Victorian period, and one of them is The Yellow Wallpaper, and I really want to read The Yellow Wallpaper, so I'm definitely going to be reading that if I get to nothing else in this short story collection. But this is a short story collection that I will be working from during the readathon. And then the last prompt is to read a novel, an adult novel with a young female protagonist. And for that one I have We Are All Completely Beside Ourselves by Karen Joy Fowler. I had read the first chapter of this book in my Try a Chapter tag I did at the end of the summer. This was one of the 3 books that I had read, and I haven't yet gotten back to it to finish it. I did like it, what I had read from it during that Try a Chapter tag, so I have been wanting to get back to this and to get through it, and this has a young female protagonist. So this would be the one I would choose for that. So that's my TBR for this readathon, and I'm very much looking forward to it. As I said, I'm really excited to start it off this Saturday with the Dewey's 24-hour and to just spend a whole day kind of being cozy and reading some of these books. I hope that all of you are planning to participate in the Autumn Readathon. Please let me know down below if you do plan to participate and if you've already filmed a TBR, because I love watching those. And in the meantime, I will talk to you later.